Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a very late entry in the hop to celebrate the incredible Jacqie Crafty on her 1,000 subbies. I totally missed the boat. The hop was actually last week, and I had my layout picked to lift, and I had let's just say that my organizing kind of got in the way of my being able to, some stuff got piled on top. Let me just say it that way. So I still want to celebrate her, and she's Jacqie Malzahn, and for those of you who follow her on Facebook and on Instagram, she's Jacqie, and on YouTube, she's Jacqie Crafty, and she's incredible. She's a really I want to say vibrant scrapper. Every page that she scraps has some life to it that just makes you feel like part of the scene. I just love this page. It's a grid, and you know I love grids. And she's used pattern paper, and she's done mixed media on top of pattern paper, and then kind of got some squares in her grid, or I guess those might be rectangles, different color frames. She's used some torn washi tape. It's just in a really cute picture, just a really great layout. So I hope I can do it justice. And I will link all the other people who are actually on time with their videos in my video description, and you can go out and through them you can kind of see how they interpreted some of her work. But do check her out and follow her and subscribe to her and all those fun things. My grid is going to be a Christmas, or my photo is going to be a Christmas photo that's been heavily filtered. It was taken from an upper balcony looking down at our Christmas tree with all the presents under it and the train track going around it. This is 2013, when life was very different from how it is now, and hopefully we can get back to the I don't know, innocence and joy of that time. Things are still a little raw, as you know, but I saw this photo and it kind of brought me back to a time when I, wasn't feeling this way. So I'm gonna take Jacqie's layout. I'm using, everything I'm using, I think, is from the Mind the Scrap December kit, except my stencil and I guess that's it, and my Distress Oxides. So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do for my, I've kind of sort of measured out where my grid is gonna occupy. So I want a little bit of stenciling kind of sticking out beyond that. And so I kind of want some right in here, and I don't necessarily want it to be real saturated. So I'm gonna start using bundled sage kind of right in here. And I'm gonna see if that shows enough. I kind of like that, actually. And I'm gonna go down here and do some more, just kind of going across so that there's not a full leafy bit showing, and this kind of, but I had pulled out pine needles as well. Peeled paint would probably also be good. but I want something really subtle. I'll have the leaves kind of pointing a different way here. I don't necessarily want it to take away from the beautiful pattern on this paper, which is 49 in Market, and I think it's called Vintage Artistry Peace and Joy, and the paper is called Starry. Okay, so that just adds a very subtle background that will kind of set the tone. So I'm going to put these off to the side. And now I'm going to assemble my grid. I am using this Vicki Boutin paper from Fernwood as the background for my grid. So I'm just going to kind of lay it out. It's very on Jacqie's, it was kind of, actually let me do this. I'm going to make this higher so that I can move my grid up higher. And okay, there. And I went over some of the stuff that I had already inked, and that's okay. All right. Okay, so I can kind of move that up a bit. Her grid pieces were fairly close together, and I really like that idea. So I'm just gonna eyeball these in, and as you know, if my eyeballing wasn't right on target, I'm perfectly happy to adjust the look with embellishments. And I have a set of 49 in Market ephemera pieces that do not go with this Christmas collection, but which I think will kind of add to, yeah, 2013 isn't exactly, you know, the olden days. I also like that she put her photo kind of right here in the upper right-hand area, so I'm going to do that. And I think, even though the reds are brighter and the greens are brighter than other things that you're seeing here, the floor and the wall, the way the filter worked, and the rug kind of pick up this muted color. Now, I've picked another dot to be the background for the rest of the grid, and it's going to, I'm going to put this dot down here, and I'm going to leave that one open because I'm thinking that I want to use some of these embellishments, like I'm going to cut this. I'm going to make it about 3, let's make it 3 inches wide, and I'm going to cut, yeah, we'll let it go a little bit more than 3 inches there, and that's still very usable, but I'm going to kind of put it here going off the side, And I'll put some foam under it. Let's get, and I want to do that because I really like that pattern and I don't want to lose it. I just kind of want to add some pretty stuff on top of it. I'm gonna put this on 2 layers of foam so that I can tuck things under. I don't want it to hang off too much. I have a ticket here that can go here, and again, I want some foam. I'll go for my foam tape. And then I can kind of add some of these. These are the 49 Market Peace and Joy stickers. They're epoxy covered stickers. So I can add the Christmas look by taking some of these generic pieces. Let me put that like that. And then I want to run this green tag off to the side, kind of tucked underneath here. And I'm going to put some foam on that. And that just kind of makes okay, there. And now these have backgrounds. Let's look at what we're going to do there. I also want to use I like the postcard idea, and maybe I can overlap and kind of put it here and embellish this as one. That's not what Jacqie did, but I think it might be what Kathy's gonna do. Let me get some more foam. I don't want to do things too differently to Jacqie's because I really love hers, but I can see maybe a little scene on this card with this line of trees and the deer and there's a little bird here that I thought might be cute right there. Okay, now let's see what we want to do here. This could be the background for like a saying. I picked out this "Life is for Living" because it kind of I don't know. A year ago, not to sound overly dramatic, but I don't know that I would have agreed with or used that sentiment. I'm gonna kind of place that right there, and I will put the Merry and Bright parallel with that tag, but on the postcard. And I'm gonna cut this down, I think. And I'm not using it for what it says or even for the images, but more for the color. The color is like the solid version of that dotted Vicki Boutin paper, and it's a good background. And then I'm going to prop this up and do then we'll go back and kind of pull. I like this, but I kind of want something under it. There's this little frame that could go, yeah, I like that. And I will just let the frame be on there. Kind of at the same angle as the card, but then this will turn a different direction. And I'll let that hang off a bit like that. I like this, but let me see if there is something green. Let's see. Maybe I'm okay with something in this coral color up in here, and I'll just let that be at the same level as the background. And let me write on it now. I'm going to put Christmas 2013. Get that. Okay, it's not wanting to stick, so I will use a little bit of foam tape on it. I love all these pieces so much, I want to use them all. And same goes for this. It's just, there's so many cute bits in there. And I have a washi tape picked out, a couple of them actually. I'm not sure which one I'll use. I've got this little sticker that can go. I maybe should have planned that better. Okay, that works. It overlaps both the tag and the photo. And then I've got this piece that can kind of work here where it actually changes level. It kind of peaks up. I'm going to let Life is for Living be my title. I want to put something pretty right there. I've got a couple hearts, so I can do my overlapping heart thing. So that works there. Now, let me do my washi tape. I've got this pretty green. I've also got this diagonal striped green. And I kind of like this, even though it's not as wide, so it's a little harder to rip. Let me look at Jacqie's and see how she's got that. She's got it kind of like it's holding the background on, but I'm going to use it maybe tucked in under here. Okay, just as an kind of an accent. And I'll do the same here. Let me and I've got a piece right here that doesn't need to be there, so let me try kind of snip that off. Okay, and I thought maybe I could do something maybe along, like under there, and maybe something there. So we'll see how well that idea works out. This is very, very narrow, so I'm gonna put that down and I'll try to work this in under here. And believe it or not, I left a lot of the, okay, that works out. Okay, it's not a very long piece, but that's all right. And I'm gonna come and put this underneath. Let's see, which layer do I want it on? I want it on the white polka dot. I wasn't quite sure how that white polka dot was going to look over the coral polka dot, nor with the kind of cream-based background, but I like it. It doesn't offend me at all. Since there's a white background to this writing, there's enough white in there. Okay, so that's enough washi tape, I think. Let's see, is there anything else that I want to use? I like the Peace and Joy. Could that go there? I kind of like it there, and that lets the digger's head kind of be propped up. And I might use something else over in here. Maybe the word jolly, or this definition of joy. I don't know. I'm going to go with the rose. It's easy. It's a Christmas rose. And where do I want it? There. Overlapping over here. Okay, this guy's not sticking. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll put a little tiny bit of foam where I want it to be propped up. And that should stick it as well. Okay, there. Now, does that... I don't need this, actually. I'm going to put it back. Maybe I'll do it here. Here. Okay, and I'll put a little bit of foam to prop it up so it goes up over the title there. And I appreciate your watching, and hope you'll check out Jacqie's work and some of the other videos that I link in, and forgive me for being this late. So Jacqie, here's to you. Congrats on your 1,000 subbies. I will have some journaling on here. This is moving around again. Let me, these stickers are not sticking, so I'll put some glue and they'll be there forever. Okay. So, like I said, thank you for watching. Jacqie, congratulations. And I'll see you next time. Bye.